Good morning, everyone. My name is Jess, and I'm a volunteer with KSAC. And on Wednesdays at 11 a.m., I introduce you or review with you some feminist books. I love books, they're my favorite thing, and so being able to do this with you is so exciting for me. A reminder that we have a giveaway going on, so if you comment on either a Facebook post or an Instagram post, with your favorite feminist read or an author you'd suggest or something in that vein, then you get entered into a draw, and one lucky participant each week, gets some KSAC swag and an opportunity to get a book of your choosing from a local bookstore. So if you would like to enter to get a book, get some KSAC swag, just let us know what some of your favorite feminist reads are. I will read out those entries anonymized on the feed each week, and you'll have an opportunity to share that with the community, as well as a chance to win a book, and who doesn't want a new book? So I'm excited to do that. And if you want to make your own post on Instagram, you can use the hashtag KSACFBC, and that we'll check that hashtag as well so that you can enter, and that's going on all May, so take part. And this week I'm really excited because I'm talking about Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown. I know, everything's backwards. This is what we deal with. This is a very new book. It came out in February of this year. And let me just make sure that I have that correct. It did come out, yes, it came out in February of this year, and it is Henry Holt and Company, and I picked this up not knowing much about it. So let me tell you about my journey with this book. So I saw that the little subtitle here is The Remarkable Story of a Teenage Wizard, and I was like, oh, look at this beautiful color with this beautiful black girl on the cover and that, sort of line. And I was like, that sounds amazing. I'm excited to read a book about a black teenage wizard. Awesome. That is not what this book is. I mean, it is a version of that for sure. But it is not the Harry Potter of 2020 that I thought it might be. So what this is by Echo Brown, who's a Black American author. And this is actually her debut in terms of a novel. She has a number of TED Talks, and she is a spoken word artist, so you can find her work in other places, but this is her first novel length piece. And so this is a mythobiography, I would say. So a mythobiography is something that weaves together sort of a memoir from the author with speculative, otherworldly, light, magical realism or fabulism within it. And so there's some really great mythobiographies out there. I would suggest one like Tanya Tagak's Split Tooth is another amazing mythobiography. So if that's your jam, that will be a good one for you too. And this one, I had the experience of listening to it via audiobook, and it is read by Echo herself. And I knew very little going into this, and I picked it up for Black History Month, because for Black History Month, I only read Black-centered work. And I thought, well, this will be a fun one to pick up. And I picked it up early in February. It might have been my first read of February. And it broke me. Oh my goodness. So first of all, lots of trigger warnings. So lots of content warnings for depictions of childhood abuse, sexual assault, drug use, domestic violence. I at one point said that I think it has trigger warnings for everything, and that's not true, but it is a heavy book. And it is, as I said, a mythobiography. So it's the story of Echo's life growing up. It starts when she's about 6 and ends when she's about 20. And it is her story and her magical realism retelling of her story. So there's that. And the wizard part is very much heavy metaphor. And so there is a metaphor that weaves through it that features a way she understands her world, and a way she develops an understanding of things like depression and addiction that is related to being a wizard and fighting off the black veil. And it is a beautiful metaphor. So there, it is wonderful. One of the critiques that I've seen, people are kind of really polarized on this one. So if you like magical realism, there's this. If you don't like magical realism, you won't like this. If you enjoy sometimes what people will call purple prose, or a bit being like overwritten, maybe, as some might say, this is not for you. I love it. I love heavy metaphor. I love all of those, poetic words. I love things that are really expressive. I love what some folks might call heavy-handed writing. All of that is very much for me, and I love that beauty. So, suggest that as well if this is your thing, and if it's not, then you won't enjoy this. And I think that if you struggle a little bit with weaving between time frames, you may struggle a little bit with this one too. So just some warnings there. I'm going to show you how she weaves between time frames just quickly here, which is that you can see here in one of these passages, there are these marks here throughout, and it shows the weaving back and forth between two stories or two universes or two ideas of what's real. So, it's clear in the text how it happens, but if that bothers you, then this is not the book for you. And so this is the story of Echo, who grows up with 2 little brothers and her parents in Ohio, and is trying to navigate through life. But there is some really beautiful prose in here, and I just wanted to share one passage that will show you a bit of this. And it is Echo is watching her parents have a party, and her parents struggle with substance use, in particular crack, and she is sort of experiencing this from both like the wisdom of childhood and the innocence of childhood. So they are out, they are doing things, and it is nighttime, and she's watching this party. Soon after the bird leaves, the procession in and out of the bathroom, where the adults kneel and pray to their white rocks, starts. The next morning, on Sunday, they will kneel in church and pray to their white God. I begin to wonder if white is the color of things to be worshipped in the world, if it is the only color to be worshipped in this world. And it was passages like that that just wrecked me because I loved it so much. It is beautiful. This is the only author I've ever written a fan letter to. And this book gave me a book hangover, and I cried, and I sobbed, and I loved it. And I want to end with one sort of passage in the acknowledgements at the very end that just did it for me. She's saying thank you to everyone. And if you question whether this is a feminist read, here's the passage that will remind you, in fact, that it is. So thank you to all of these people. Finally, to myself, the girl who never gives up. The girl who believed she could, so she did. The girl who listens to the spirits and completes the mission. The girl who has finally discovered her unbreakability. Well done. I'm gonna cry. So it's a really beautiful book. It's moving, it's heavy. I really suggest this. Check it out. I would love to talk to you about it. If you want to know more about any content warnings, leave a comment. I will get to you, and we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a lovely Wednesday. Bye, friends.